Good day, good love, and good light illuminators. Thank you for joining me. My name is Wendy, and today I'm sharing with you just another cup of inspiration. If you're new to my channel, my highest joy and excitement is to share with you the infinite languages of lights, to share with you the galactic guidance that I received through the infinite Emissaries of the Light Collective. They are a collective of infinite number of beings, if you will, who, like us, all of us, are ascending in their own way, whether they're physical or non-physical, because they represent all realms and dimensions and densities, together with all of us in this vibrational, harmonic convergence, once again, as we celebrate this month of 3, the energy of March, of the body, mind, and spirit, that connection. And that is what my highest joy and excitement has been from this, for the beginning, is to share with all of us the reminder that every single thing is in harmony, that every single thing speaks, emits, transmits, and receives a language of the light. For we are all, every single thing in creation is light. We are a vibration. We are a numeric sequence. We are a frequency. We are energy. And we exist, always will exist, forever and always. I want to thank those of you who have been with me for the last 4 or 5 years. And I wanted to thank all of you who are my new, I want to say new members of my family, but what it feels like is every single time that I interact, engage with all of you, every time I meet someone new, I realize it's just a reunion. We're reuniting. And even last night, I had another crazy dream, and I call them crazy, but I realize that they are simply us having our real life in our other realms and dimensions. And once again, as I have frequently have this dream, that many of us are at a convention, and I feel, while I'm in it, I feel it. It's like we're always at different like hotels and venues. Last night I happened to be, it was a hotel that seemed to be like in a big city, right in the smack in the middle of a big city. Like as soon as you open the door to the hotel, you walk out onto a city street, and much like Chicago, where I was born and raised. And so I could tell once again by the frequency of the dream that I was there for this purpose, for sharing light languages, for channeling, for gathering. If you are guided to this channel, as many of you have been, especially recently, over the last couple of weeks, and those of you who I've had the absolute honor and privilege of having private sessions with, of interacting, reuniting with, it has been an absolute, I'm breathless actually with the connections, the love, the outpouring, the synchronicities, and the realization that everything is in divine balance. So thank you. Thank you to all of you who have followed your own galactic guides, because all of us here who are interacting in this idea together, the light languages, symbols, codes, one of the things that I was guided to do several years ago was to share and also to share the Syrian sacred circuit light code circuitries that were brought to us through Bashar, through Deralenka, as well as so many of us, including myself, that draw, scribe, sing, tone, speak, sign. Some people hear the languages in their head space, in their heart space, but they don't speak them yet. Many of us have had memories and dreams of first contacts. I happen to know for certain that this is something I've been doing, have been preparing to do all of my life. Even though everything's now, there is no past, there is no future, everything's happening simultaneously in other parallel realities. And so many of you have come to me, especially recently, sharing your own experiences and asking, what is this? What is happening to me? What are these voices, or how do I connect more fully? How do I connect with my multidimensionality? How do I know who these beings are? How do I know what these symbols mean? What am I drawing? What am I speaking? Or maybe you're not yet, and you're just simply having these experiences that you don't understand. I have been guided to express myself in a variety of ways, whether it's through a recorded activation, whether it's through a video, whether it's through a live event, whether it's through sharing on social media, these symbols, the ones that I create as well. It's all about all of us being illuminated, activated, awakened, but we're being awakened by our higher selves, by those that we have already determined would help us wake up. And each of us are helping each other wake up. And the more we share our experiences together and emanate this new frequency as we walk out into the world, it's not just about who am I connected to? We're all connected to all frequencies, all dimensions, all star systems. There's different ones that we're focusing on at different times, for a variety of reasons, fulfilling our path moment by moment based upon, as you're waking up, what are you guided to do? Where do you want to flow your energy? How do you want to connect? What do you want to learn? What do you want to learn about yourself? All of these things really, though, are ways, are permission slips for us to more fully connect to our source. We came here to forget we're connected to source and everything and all things, and that everything emits and transmits energy and information and language through light. So today, even as I began this video, it was exactly 3 o'clock on the 2nd of March, 3, 2, and then 2019 equals 3. This idea of, to me, in my telepathic connections, this is the year of connection, of balance, of flow, of receiving, of expressing. All of these things that were part of these symbols, the 15 symbols that were originally brought to us through Bashar, through our Syrian family. And so many people will ask me, well, what do my symbols mean? What do they translate to? We have to remember that it's like saying, I speak earth language. Well, there are how many languages on earth, and how many languages that have existed on earth and come and gone that aren't even aware of anymore because of the shifts in the timelines and the realities and all of that. So we can't just say I'm speaking a specific language from a particular star system necessarily. I think that's very limited, because we're humans who want to explain and define and label and box and categorize because we can't figure it out. And if we can't figure it out, we can't allow the flow and the balance that comes from just allowing this information to flow through us, and then ask, how is this pertinent to my daily life? How do I apply this stuff? And then listen for the answers. This is what I've also been guided to do, is to help others empower themselves and listen to your own answers. It's not about my translation or interpretation. It's about yours. And then how do you express that interpretation out into the world, no matter what you're doing. No matter who you're interacting with, how you're interacting with them, in what capacity. It's about taking the information that you receive and understanding you are already connected to all these things. But when you're receiving this information, what does it mean to you now for your own soul growth, path, and expansion? And how do you allow that information then to flow freely through you? And today's date, so today we have balance, the sacred circuit from Sirius for the number 3 for the month of March is an overall theme of balance, of that connection, of the idea of the sacred geometry, that we are a frequency, we are a geometric pattern that changes moment by moment based upon our frequency, which allows us to connect to different beings in different spatial frequencies, time zones, dimensions, parallel realities, to gather information. A memory is just simply you're thinking of it now. You're creating the memory now. And this is what we're learning to grasp, this information, this idea that we are all ubiquitous in everything, that everything is in everything, that everything is speaking through in all that is part of all that is, and everything that's ever been created. We are all part of each other, and everything absolutely is connected. We came here. This is the only place in the universe of all the multiverses where we've come to experience complete separation, and then coming out of that experience, realizing, becoming consciously aware without having to actually transition, that we are multidimensional beings, having a 3-dimensional experience focus right now, but while we're also having multidimensional focused parallel reality, our consciousness is active in every other dimension with every other being. It's just, what are we focusing on right now? And today's date, 3/2/2019 equals 8. So today I was guided to just do this video to ask us all, sorry, I'm trying to get comfy, to ask us all, where do we need to increase flow in our lives? Where do we need to, is it increasing the flow of energy through our bodies? Do we need to increase the amount of physical activity? Do we need to increase the flow of allowing these light languages to filter through and allow us to release the belief systems that don't serve us without actually having to identify and categorize and pursue it and experience it anymore? We can just say, I want it to flow through me now. I want to feel the perfection of every moment. When I'm unhappy, depressed, angry, judgmental about absolutely anything, it's because I'm judging that this moment, this time, this me, this now, this connection isn't serving me and isn't serving my highest growth and expansion. But what we don't understand is everything is. Everything is always serving our highest growth and expansion. And even if we're creating something we don't prefer, that's to show us we don't prefer it and to push us in the direction of what is our most harmonious core vibration. So again, when we are asking to categorize and physicalize and extrapolate and translate and what these symbols, languages, signs mean, miatashe, they're helping us expand outside of this idea of separation. They're helping us to learn that everything is a flow through everything, that source energy flows through everything at all times. And that we can experience, focus on anything we desire at any time. As soon as you go to describe something, if somebody asks you something, you have to visualize it first in order to describe it. But how do you describe something? that maybe you've never visualized before, that you don't understand, that you can't logically make sense of. And it cuts off the flow. It cuts off the flow of energy because we're trying to rationalize it, logicalize it. And we're being asked to move beyond that and allow it to filter through us. And I was just noticing the tangles here in my necklace and in my necklaces, and how even sometimes that feels like it cuts off the flow of energy. So it's kind of that feeling of when we're kind of, choked up, tangled up inside, where we're not allowing that flow of energy. And even a lack of belief in ourselves, of that this moment is perfect, and that we define it, we become sad and depressed and judgmental about this moment because it isn't what we want, and therefore we stay in the frequency of what we don't want. And then we know the tools, but we don't apply the tools. So where do we need to apply this flow in our lives? Asking our guides right now to show us by way of signs, symbols, synchronicities, messages. What is it? Where is it what do I need to flow in my life? And here we're in the age, the sun is in Pisces, the symbol of the fish, the water, flow. And the new moon, I believe, is also going to be in Pisces. So that flowing energy. Where are you stopping? Where are we stopping the flow of energy, the flow of abundance in our lives? Where are we stopping the flow of freedom of expression? Where are we stopping our flow of unconditional love? Where are we not allowing our love to flow? Where are we not seeing the perfection of that moment? And even today, as I'm feeling this energy, someone in my family had to say goodbye to and assist their pet cat crossing over the Rainbow Bridge today. And even that, trying to see and understand that the transition, the gift that pet has given us, the unconditional love that it reminds us of, and yet it reminds us too to love again, to open ourselves again and love again, and to allow the flow of unconditional love and all the messages and all the wisdom that relationship taught us. And isn't it interesting how we have collectively agreed that for the most part, and especially with what we would call our domesticated animals, those that we invite into our personal reality, that their lifespans are considerably shorter than ours for the most part. And so it teaches us the value of the now, of being in the now, expressing ourselves in the now, being open in the now, and knowing that nothing, and when you're open to unconditional love, that there is no greater love, there is no greater feeling when you're uniting with this being that you can't even actually speak to. So is that really any different than what they try to show us as the connection to our spirit world? They're showing us how to be telepathic. We know, those of us who have animals in our lives, we can read their minds and they can read ours. They feel us. They feel our hearts. They know our energy. We know theirs. They feel what we feel. And how many of us actually, even our pets even look like us in a lot of cases, because we're drawn to that particular frequency. I've noticed many similarities even between my own pets in my life, and especially my own dog Ranger. Many of you have seen him in my videos. I mean, we have like this exactly the same color hair. We have similar personalities in a lot of ways. We are frequency, and we attract like beings to our frequency. What we judge as good or bad or otherwise, but that's just a judgment. So with this light language blessing, in my heavily meditated cup, where do we not only want to feel the flow of this energy, but we also want to ground this flow of energy, and we want to intentionalize this flow of energy. And when we think of the number 8, of course, it's the infinity, the symbol of flowing. And we are more than ever being asked now to understand that flow and the flow of energy and allowance, and knowing that our moments are always in perfect harmony with exactly what we need. It's this, we can feel balanced because we know we're always going to be always be exactly where we need to be, when we need to be there. And feeling the beauty of the experience that can be felt nowhere else but here. And the major accomplishment, the cheering sections that are going on, galaxy upon galaxy upon galaxy, that we can't even begin to understand the information. And even as the emissaries, Emili, as the emissaries of the Light Collective tell me, they're saying to me, their information is always flowing through me no matter what, because we're the same frequency. Every time I speak, my aura, they are a part of me. I am a part of them. That is the agreement, if that's what we want to call it. We again have to put a category, an agreement, a contract. It's not really like that in from the bigger perspective. And again, we're being asked to see it from this eagle perspective. And to listen to our animal totems, and the eagle spirit. And thank you, my dear sister Jody, for my eagle. I'll have to, let me pause. I'll pause and get it for you guys. And I noticed the timestamp when I paused was 23:24. This, as many, if you don't know, where I live right here, I've got a couple of eagle families that perch here and nest here, and there's a lot of synchronicities with me and where I live and the Eagle Collective. And so I'm being reminded right now by the eagle energy right now about seeing the bigger picture and allowing that idea of looking at it from the higher perspective, yet seeing what's on the ground. And this has deep connections to me for a variety of reasons, for my own Native American guides, all of our connection to the animal kingdoms, and that the eagle is the highest. The eagle has no predator. It is the highest of the kingdom. And the power of that symbol and it happens to be also the symbol for the United States. And so again, I'm being reminded that Mahau Kushana, one of the very first things that I started channeling were the animal collectives. And they were showing me our connections to them and them to us, and how they're literally a part of our physical cellular makeup. And we use these archetypes in everything we do, everything, our astrology, every single thing we do carries the essence of an animal archetype. And even as we, and which also then it gives that whole idea of the ark and all of the animals, and now think about, hybrid races and think about, we couldn't possibly begin to interpret or translate every language that there is in all that is. It's not possible. But what they want us to understand is, I just feel the emotion just building inside of me. What they want us to understand is that their language is in everything. Because we are just light. This is just a reflection of light. We came here, I came here to express harmony, that every single thing is in harmony with everything else, but everything's singing a different part of the song. And how, as we know, the songs of all of I call them the critters. I love it as now spring is emerging here. I'm in Tennessee in the United States, and we're already seeing the daffodils blooming, and so and the birds and more birds, and so I'm always reminded at the messages that are always coming through the animal collectives, and how then I start to hear the frogs, and then I'm reminded of complete transformation, that how a frog goes from a completely aquatic being to a being with 4 legs. So from a tadpole to a frog, and how a butterfly, the larva, the cocoon, and how our cocoon time is what we would call the dark time. But is it really? Is the cocoon time really the dark time, or is it the transition time, the metamorphosis time? Because without it, how would it grow its wings? When we think that we are at our darkest moment, isn't it really when we're at our most transformational? Isn't that always how it turns out? So where do we need to be listening to our animal guides, our totems, our spirits, those animal spirits that have been with us all of our lives, the ones that we have identified with? I even don't like the word identify, because I find myself even wanting to, I hesitate even myself saying, I am this, I am that, because that changes moment by moment. And whatever we are, whatever I am a light language linguist, but that doesn't say who I am. It's one of the ways I express myself. I am this, I am a mom, I am a sister, I am this, I am a worker, I am that. We spend all of our lives categorizing and analyzing, and then think about when somebody says, I am this, I am that. We already have a predisposed judgment about what they are based upon our own filtration systems, based upon our own experiences is what we've had. If somebody says, I am this, I am a doctor, I am a lawyer, I am a trash collector, I am a waitress, I am an IT person, I am a healer, I am a shaman. Every single thing, unless you've never heard of it before, you're going to conjure an image, an imagination, a judgment about it. And until we all can allow this idea of feeling instead of judging, that doesn't tell you. It may give you an idea of, oh, okay, if you're a teacher, you are a teacher, or you're a healer. It gives a general theme, but it doesn't tell you who that person is. It doesn't tell you who they are deep inside of them. So I can tell you I'm a mom, well, but that doesn't tell you anything about who I am as a person, how I express myself and my heart and my love and my fears and my life and that doesn't tell us anything. It's a judgment. So we're being asked now to, where do we need to allow the flow of knowing, feeling, experiencing. And I was guided to the native spirit deck once again, because this is the native spirit within us. Is when we think, even when I think of the word native, I think of belongs to, family, running wild, running free, naked, no judgment. Spirit of air, Lashina, the throat chakra. And look, I even put this on, and these are blue. These are written in blue. So the sky, the avians, the birds, the clouds, the water, blue, the blue chakra, our throat, our third eye, indigo blue, Masoteshenike. The spirit of air. This is the age of Aquarius. Aquarius is an air sign. And in the air, where the flow of air, the sound of air moving through the trees. They have even told me many times, my guides, the sound of the air moving through anything is a language, because it's an alchemy. Because the sound that is created when it reflects off of something else creates something new, a whole new vibration. That's alchemy. So we are being invited now to join, imagine, embody this blue spirit of air and I was being reminded too that we have the opportunity, the invitation, and the ability and the capability to absolutely become the essence and embody the frequency of anything at all. Ask to become the spirit of air. And then feel what that feels like. Ask to experience the flow of abundance. Ask to experience the flow of unconditional love. Ask to experience the flow of information from your guides. And have it receive and be expressed in whatever way is perfect for you in that now. I do not express I never once expressed myself the same way twice. Even the videos are always different. Even the sessions are always different. Everything is always unique. It's unique to the person, the alchemy, the 1 + 1 = 3. This month of March, as we experience this writing the number 3 over and over again this month, ask to experience this spirit of flow, the spirit of air, the spirit of water, the spirit of our truth, I pick another blue, and this is the gateway. Both of these were by Denise Lynn. That was Native Spirit. This is the Gateway Oracle by Denise Lynn as well. And even the cover, I just love the photo, the idea of the flow of energy. The gateway opening, the flow of the water, the flow of the sunlight, the flow of the trees, the roots, the flow of the light. Allow the energy to flow through you right now. Just breathe. Allow the silence to flow through you. Allow the messages, the information to flow through. And just feel the light and the languages of the lights flow through like water flows through sand. Like sand flows through an hourglass. Like it flows through your hands and your toes. Like light flows through a window. How it creates a kaleidoscope through glass, colored glass. How it alchemizes and changes, creates rainbows and prisms. This is always you, information filtering through you all the time, for you are light. Always, always, always a kaleidoscope of light, always changing. Based upon whatever frequency you're bringing in this now, whatever you're thinking about, whatever you're feeling, whatever you are imagining as your perceived past or future. Just allow the now to flow. And we ask our guides now, we thank them actually for being with us in this moment. So in this now, just send that mirror of gratitude to your guides and my guides, for together they alchemize as our guides today. But yet each and every one of them are in and flowing through each and every one of us, through each and every one of them, through each other. And you are channeling them as they are channeling you right now. Feeling your heart, your energy, your heartbeat. Feeling your frequency and your aura. Everything is always measuring the frequency of another. Feeling does it resonate or does it repel? Is this for me in this now or is it not? It doesn't mean it's bad or good, or it just is. And everything always exists. It always will. Absolutely everything will always exist. Feel the flow of that allowance. That everything can exist, but you don't have to focus on it. Everything does exist, but you don't have to focus on it. You choose what you get to focus on. You're so powerful that you have chosen the experience of the lack of choice. And lack of power. You've chosen this, that you may demonstrate how to wake up from that illusion, how to remember from the most deepest, darkest frequency of separation there has ever been in all of creation, that you have chosen to show the way on how to break through, how to allow the light to flow through this density in every single direction. Dwelling in truth, I stand in the light of truth. And once again, we have the sky energy, the flow, the blue, and the yellow of the solar plexus, the sun within you, the light shining through by you dwelling in your truth. The blue and the yellow. Allow the spirit of air to flow through you. Unayasimaku Nealwa Shumaru Keaseni Morushinaya Morute Nayashimaku Nisamiyasu Shea Kunuya Emanuti Shina Senyama Elkiina Satashe Simunai Ina Tasheki Ilisino Samalokore Marakoshe Pleiadian Kashe Atana Malushia Makunaya Shanusi Ninayuki Nayushula Nishula halami aina keshe atese. Pleajer zemeleje na kalian samoluna jake ete ka kerjazunaka. Plejenete ishina zamojono toa kalajenete. Meshenete jenodukia, se jenatakia. Mesha elevjenobola koniata jenete kiasana seje. For what you are resonating with is the universal chord of light, the universal codes of light consciousness. Sinuso oshanateia naya ahi nasha namaloko nano. Nasha antiesa na sonana malakuna na malakota rakuakia toroshe. Simariano na akwaka elokotara kundara shu. Mishana kinkia. Miriandoriano rakor amkoya sana saja shenali alkota palkoya tarasho. Mesharakuna. The universal language of consciousness is the chord of consciousness, of universal harmony that runs through each and everything that has ever been and ever will be created. It is the umbilical cord to life itself, to light itself. Sunusha iatasana seleke malawasana. Lakero sono samala malakora. Eshero so ontaria no malakore ontoro shokorokadia. Tekalo sene samasha tokero shakana ne malakoa. Shamana etakola kavasana shea. Angela kalimana Elohim alakotara shana jamantakea. Arakeshanana arakesha angelic komoto. Sumozona taki lakasena shea aka. Shanapel antikia. Amakoko aka shanasela sena shoya koshashe. Soya neke. Aboko ante shanasanete ki. Se. Simotona kia shanate bola kamoko yashanase. You are always moving energy. Always. For you are energy in motion. Na osanate. Always. Senasheyaga ishanate moa. Leshanate enkiasanasete. And everything you manifest is energy in motion. Nasena shanabeliasana. Sena she itashanate pokoya. For what you imagine becomes matter. Senoso make lashanate. Semosonashela kandera ki sanasheke lashea. Senaseke ki asanasete shela. As above, so below. Mo arakashanese ilakese. Sanatoya ma iroko shete. Semosondashemi ilakasanasete eke mosota shela komakoroko sheshe. Sheno somayana ni kawakambaya. Sanasete ki asanashela komorako. Elahina namakalokose. Sashanate kamanakoshe. Oha ananana. Eshenokayandare samarokoma sanasheke. Yeshanate shanasete. And feel the energy of these light codes, these galactic Reiki symbols. Nasumashanate shanashemora. Zenasendishinate, each of you receiving exactly which ones you need in this now. Simosonasheme elakonemonoamalakoa. Shena shema koyamboko shenate entashana. Zimboko shenate nongoyama nananamalakonena. Mete senasana shadodo. Makiasana. Ishanakiandaryama orokoyama kayana neamanakoya pasonashe. As you recognize this holy fire burning within you in this age of Aquarius, feeling the spirit of air and the spirit of fire and the spirit of the water. And the spirit of the earth and the spirit of the love, of the unconditional love that flows through the ethers of all that is and all that ever will be, and that all exists right now. Neponake. Shimakote ashanasete shiakwa. Meshanote ashanase isanataki anandapalakoya shanate. Galactic ambassadors, first contact specialists, guardians of Gaia, Shamana, Shakana, the Akuriasana, the high councils, the galactic councils. Nasima Shanokolano Masatakolama Orakashana de Ankoyana Mokoa. Sino Antiyama Satashema Elekomano Malakona Malo 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 Malakiana Nina Malakoyamana Nana Apakushan Sakaliana Shakeatoa Seke Shea Nayakoatoaku Meshea Nayakaya Salakaya Rosha Meashea Toya Sanashea Isese. And the beginning ones. Nasheata Sena Sote Shaukwa. The first ones. Shea Sanasheta Yakayanana. Meashawakayata. Meahinanana. Meshanakia Sanashokwa. is a divine gathering indeed. For yes, you gather. On earth's sleep. You gather. In other timelines, other realities. And you converge again into this collective consciousness. And yet we're always together. We are always together. It is as easy to perceive the collective as it is to experience the separation. And we are complete. Thank you for being with me today. With me and Emili, the Emissaries of the Light Collective, your guides, my guides, our guides. But remember, you are the way showers, the beacons, the lighthouses. You are always transmitting, receiving, speaking the languages of lights. For they glow within each and every one of us. And as they said to me the first day, Mahala, the light within me illuminates the light within you, and the light within you illuminates the light within me. And together we illuminate the light of all that is, the light of all creation. For all creation speaks the languages of lights. For they contain the light of each and every one of you, and each and everything, and each and every when, and each and every where, and every now. I love you. Thank you for being my reflection in this now. I love you. I love you. I love you. Namaste.